Benvenuti a questo secondo Gem.
Welcome to our second Gem Talk for today. This Gem Talk is going to focus on natural and synthetic diamonds. Both diamonds are present on the market, ever more so, by the way. It won't be a war between the two, but rather we're going to hear some thoughts on these two products that are equal but different. So we're going to talk about this material, this gem, and we're going to do so with three people. Mr. Luigi Cosma, the president of the Italian Diamond Exchange, Thierry Silber, who's a CEO and founder of Madestones, which is a company selling synthetic diamonds, who follows suit three generations of sellers of natural diamonds, and Daniel Nyfeler, the managing director of the Gubelin Gem Lab, one of the most important gem labs internationally, who together with Thierry is part of the Commission on Synthetic Diamond. In English, this is better termed as a lab-grown diamond of Silber. So there's a committee specifically devoted to the definitions and the terminology to be used for lab-grown diamonds and mined diamonds. So we're going to start now, giving the floor to Mr. Luigi Cosma, president of the Borsa Diamanti d'Italia, the Italian Diamond Exchange.
Honored to be here. I try to give some straight answer about these two different products, the natural diamond and the lab-grown diamond. I think the information is very important, mainly for the consumer, because we need to protect the consumer. I'm Luigi Cosma, president of Borsa Diamanti d'Italia. Borsa Diamanti d'Italia, founded in 1926, is the oldest diamond Borsa, is the oldest diamond trade association in Italy. The Borsa is affiliated with World Federation Diamond Borsa, which includes 27 diamond Borsa, 20 present in 21 different countries. Our Borsa participates regularly to the meeting of World Federation Diamond Borsa to face and to solve, together with the other Borsa, the different problematic in our trade. What about the market today? Today, the conditions to do business are changing. The consumer is changing and the competition is changing. We need to study the changes and take the steps to adapt. Our business, after 2 years, very positive, is going through a phase of stagnation. And the price of natural diamond are going down. This is due to several factors. Increase in inflation and interest rate, stock market remain unstable, and last one, but not the last, probably is the main, geopolitical situation. War in Ukraine, tension between China and Taiwan, Iran threat, etc. This situation has a bad impact on luxury goods and therefore on natural diamonds. One of the topics discussed at the last Congress in Tel Aviv last March was the marketing of natural diamonds. At the Congress, World Federation Diamond Bourse decided to collaborate with Natural Diamond Council to promote natural diamonds. Natural Diamond Council is the alliance between the major mining diamond company in the world. The Natural Diamond Council has the mission to advance the integrity of the modern diamond industry and to inspire, educate, and protect the consumer. To address the myths and misconceptions about the diamond industry, the Natural Diamond Council has conducted research to better understand the question consumers have about the industry and provide them with straight answers. One of the initiatives of Natural Diamond Council is the Assure program. The Assure program consists in a directory of approved instruments that can detect natural diamond from synthetic diamonds. There are many devices that can detect that can separate or detect natural diamond from simulant and lab-grown. Our Borsa has one called the Sherlock Holmes and is available to the members of the Borsa. Natural and synthetic has the same physical and chemical properties, but they are very different products. Synthetic is an industrial product you can find easily, you can produce easily, and has no value in the future. You pay an amount, but if you want to resell, it doesn't have value. Natural diamonds is rare, so has a value and keep a value on time. The process of natural diamond formation means they are rare and finished natural resource. Ethical sourcing is a priority for natural diamond industry. Natural diamonds benefit the country from which they originate. The natural diamond industry supports the livelihood of 10 million people worldwide. For additional facts about the diamond industry, visit www.naturaldiamonds.com/diamondfacts. What about the market of lab-grown today? In the last 2 years, the market of synthetic diamond has grown a lot, especially in the United States of America. How this growth can affect natural diamonds? For sure has an impact, has an effect, but only the time will tell us what kind of effect. Prices of synthetic diamonds are dropping continuously. This will help to separate synthetic diamonds from natural diamonds. In general, lab-grown diamonds can be traded side by side, as long as proper disclosure is provided. Important is the disclosure of lab-grown. We know also De Beers is selling synthetic diamonds with a line called Lightbox. The line of synthetic diamond launched by De Beers in 2018 allows consumers to buy engagement rings with synthetic diamond for a maximum price of $5,000. This operation brings synthetic diamonds closer to custom jewelers rather than high jewelers. Recently, De Beers signed an agreement with Botswana to extend the diamond license until 2054. This means that De Beers keep investing in natural diamonds, and natural diamonds remain the main activity for De Beers. Negotiations are now ongoing for mining permission in Namibia also. Natural diamonds will always hold their fascination, thanks to their rarity and uniqueness, and they will keep attracting customers who are able to spend a larger amount. Let me conclude my presentation to showing you a short video. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Luigi. And now we have to speak about lab-grown diamonds. And I ask to Thierry to speak about this gem material. Mi passate la presentazione?
Technology. Okay. First of all, thank you, Loredana, and the organization to have me here and share some information and data with you. I stood here in 2019, and during my presentation in 2019, I spoke mainly about education, about the way it was produced, and the marketing of lab-grown diamonds. I believe today everybody knows about lab-grown diamonds, and I think that education is no longer needed. And I think perhaps it's a good idea to go back in time, see the evolution, at the end, share some market data of today. So the beginning is actually with me. When did I start? Everything started with 2008, the financial crisis. I was looking back to my achievement in the industry, but more importantly, I was thinking about the future and see how successful I could remain in the diamond business. And for me, it was clear that I needed innovation. Now, innovation is a big word, and I needed to define for myself what is innovation. And for me, innovation is daring to explore unknown territory. So I have a definition, but I don't have a product. So I went to look for product, and in 2009, I discovered in the United States at that time, the only producer of laboratory-grown diamond. It was called Gemesis. And I was really fascinated and went to the United States to see what's all about. During my period in the natural diamond business, I was always fascinated by colored diamonds. Pink and blue were, for me, not affordable. Yellow were not cheap, but accessible, and I became a kind of specialist in yellow diamonds. At that time, in 2009, only yellow, orange, and brown lab-grown diamonds were produced, nothing else. When I saw these striking colors, and I saw the main difference and the big difference in price, I thought that might be the product I am looking for my innovation. So we negotiate exclusivity for Europe, and so did I start in 2009. Now the challenge was how to market the goods in the industry. And very quickly, I realized that actually the industry was not really happy. On the contrary, was really negative. I was not anymore welcome in the diamond bourse. I was not anymore welcome in trade shows, and I was not anymore welcome in Belgian pavilion. So I decided I need to know if I was right or not, and we did consumer research, because ultimately all the power of decision is with consumer. And the result of that research was totally in contradiction with the organization in the industry. That gave me the energy and the courage to continue, and also realized that selling and natural and lab-grown was not an easy task. We needed, like it was said before, to differentiate the product, and therefore I founded in 2015 the brand of Madestones, which is only selling lab-grown diamonds. Now, 2015 was really the start. Leonardo DiCaprio was actually the first one making a claim, supporting the lab-grown diamond industry. But usually celebrities, they make claims, and very rarely they invest themselves. Leonardo DiCaprio invested himself in the production unit in Silicon Valley. This was already the start. It appeared on social media and created awareness with consumers. Then 2016, Swarovski came into the market with lab-grown diamonds. And actually Swarovski was on top of my list, because if you check at that time the market situation and segment of the jewelry, you had the lower segment with Pandora and Swarovski on top, and then much higher level you have the diamond and jewelry. And between these two, there was a big gap, a blue ocean ready to be captured, where no one knew how to capture that ocean. And actually Swarovski, they saw it. And actually for them, it was also easier to do, because for them, they are upgrading from a crystal to a diamond. For the natural people, to sell lab-grown diamond, it's a downgrade. 2018, De Beers is launching the Lightbox brand for lab-grown diamonds. This is probably the most important milestone in the lab-grown diamond industry until today, according to me. Why? Number one, they legitimize the product. Okay? Until that time, there was a lot of fight. They claim and they legitimize the product. They created an awareness in a very short period of time that would be impossible for the lab-grown diamond industry to create in probably 5 years. At that time, I was myself speaking with lots of people and brands, and lots of people and brands didn't know whether to use or not to use the product. When De Beers, the icon of the natural diamond industry, decides to step into lab-grown diamonds, yes, there is no reason for anybody not to do the same. So they removed lots of doubts. This is one, 2019. GIA is removing the term synthetic from their grading reports. Some people will think it's a minor change. It's only a word of 9 letters. But the change is significant, especially on the marketing side. You know, synthetic is really not the good term. Consumer associate the term with fake and imitation. So GIA aligned themselves with the market and now use also the term laboratory grown diamond. 2019, we're having Meghan Markle. She was probably one of the first celebrities to openly claim that her jewelry is involving lab-grown diamonds. It was the beginning that celebrities embraced the product. 2021, Pandora, announcing that they decided to stop using mined diamonds and starting using lab-grown diamonds. They want to make diamond jewelry affordable, accessible to a wider group of consumers. And there you have the quote of the CEO of Pandora. The first 2022 was a busy year. Many things happened. And the first one is Breitling. It was the first watch brand coming on the market using lab-grown diamonds in one of the models and announcing that everything will be lab-grown diamonds by the end of 2024. In 2022 again, we have LVMH that decided to invest 90 million in a production unit in Israel. And meanwhile, recently, they invested another 90 million in the same production facility. It is clear to me that they have intention to step into the market, but how and which way, I don't know. 2022, very busy year. Tag Heuer, also using lab-grown diamond in their watches. But here it's interesting because they are using the capacity we have with lab-grown diamonds to create customized special shapes. They are not using the round brilliance, they are using special shapes, and they used for these watches 124 diamonds for a total of 15.5 carats. So this is really an interesting way of handling lab-grown diamonds. This would be very difficult to achieve. It's manageable, but very costly in natural diamonds. Then now, 2023, very recently, the Lightbeers quietly launched a bridal collection. This is a very, very big change in the vision, because actually, in 2018, they claimed that lab-grown diamonds have no emotional value. They are only good for fashion jewelry. But now, starting with a bridal collection is for me a sign that they are admitting that there is emotional value. Recently in June, also very important, the Prime Minister of India is visiting the United States. And usually when head of states are visiting, they are offering each other gifts. And the gifts are very important and very high symbolic. They have very high symbolic. And this, the Prime Minister offered Jill Biden a 7.5 carat lab-grown diamond. Now, why 7.5? It is because this year, India is celebrating 75 years of independence. But the Prime Minister said himself he could offer a natural diamond, but he purposely offered a lab-grown diamond to make a sustainability statement. This diamond was produced with wind and solar energy, and the carbon emission of that diamond was 0.028 grams per carat. Extremely low. Now let's see and share some market share. And we start with the engagement ring. And we go back 3 years, because this is a good way to compare. And we see that the significant increase went from 1.7% to a 17.3% market share in February of this year. So now you understand why Lightbox also started to launch their bridal collection. Because meanwhile, originally, the purpose of launching there was to protect the market share of the bridal market. Probably they didn't succeed. Now, when you collect market data, you can do it by value or you can do it by unit. We did it both. So let's start with value, which is a bit more complex. And here you see that it tripled in 3 years. The market share was 7.2 in January 2020, and today it's about nearly 23%. More interesting is the unit share, because it's easier to ask a jeweler, how many rings did you sell with the natural diamonds? How many rings did you sell with the lab-grown diamonds? That's very easy to reply and giving a numbers. And there you see how amazing the figures are, with a steep rise from 11.6 to 46.6%, so nearly half. And now comes the question, when will lab-grown diamond sales be the majority? And the question is not if, but when. And according to the data, it should happen in November, but I received a confirmation of Idan Golan, which is one of the biggest analysts of the industry, that actually the 50-50 was reached in July. So it came faster than expected. The bottom line, lab-grown diamonds, sales are happening everywhere, including in the bridal sector. Maybe not everyone likes and uses them, but they are a fact of life, and they are here to stay. The current market figure shows clearly that the consumer has clearly decided they like the product. So, the future. Well, according to me, the future looks very bright, but it's going to be very important to remain successful, to differentiate yourself from the competition somehow, and to brand the product. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Thierry, for your presentation. And now Daniel Nyfeler, he is the manager director of Gubelin Gemmologico. And in this lab, they don't grade in diamonds, not natural nor synthetic one. We are lucky because we have no problem. And he is a member of the Lab Ground Diamond Commission, CIBGO Commission, with Thierry. And I want to also ask you what is the importance of this commission? All right, thank you.
That's what I plan to present.
Okay.
Thank you, Loredana. We do diamonds, by the way.
Okay, but
Gubelin Gem Lab is a color gemstone lab. You know, our daily bread is determining origin treatment of color gemstones. But we do diamonds. We get very few diamonds, maybe like a couple of percent. Okay. But what we typically do is getting the Golconda diamonds, you know, the big old ones, and we get fancy color diamonds. We hardly see small white stones in our hand, which is, I believe, one of the reasons why Gaetano Cavalieri was a couple of years back calling me and say, hey, Daniel, would you mind participating in this to be established lab-grown diamond working group, what it was at that time, because he wanted to have a guy from a gem lab that understands the material, that understands the analytics to distinguish the natural from the I still call it synthetic, being a material scientist, from the synthetic product, without having skin in the game, because it's not a business for us. So we are not for or against, we don't care. So let me go through a couple of slides. The discussion actually in this working group started with with what is a diamond. You had the natural diamond people. They said, no, it's lab-grown is not a diamond. That's not true. And the other one said, oh, yes, of course it is a diamond. So that's the mind guy and the person representing the mind, the traditional natural diamond industry. And he said, only if it's dug out from the earth, then it is a diamond. And the other guy, the one coming out from the lab, he said, of course not. Also, lab-grown diamonds are true diamonds. Then the natural diamond guy said, no, no, I can give you the proof. A diamond has to be a mineral, and a mineral, by definition, is only when it's grown naturally, millions of years ago, billions of years ago, deep in the Earth's crust. And the other guy was saying, not true. Diamond is defined simply as the crystalline form of carbon, crystallized in a cubic form, regardless whether it's natural or synthetic. Both are right. Both are right. A mineral has to be formed naturally. And from a scientific, natural, material science point of view, a diamond, also a lab-grown diamond, is perfectly a diamond. So both sides are kind of right, and both sides wanted to prove the other wrong. So then there are claims, a lot of claims. It started with the lab-grown diamond people. They were saying, our products are ethical and sustainable. You know, we are not scarring the earth. We are not kind of digging deep into the earth and destroying landscapes. And it's also sustainable from all these ESG points of view. Our product is much better. It's also social. We don't have child labor issues. We don't have forced labor issues. We are not funding any conflicts in the world. Our product is the good one. And it's traceable. You know, you have the factory, then you have the cutter, and dang, it goes to the final product. Very easy. Short supply chain, short value chain. It's clear, transparent. And it's affordable. There was a statement from Thierry, luxury should be for everyone, which somehow is a contradiction in itself, but that's the claim they made, right, that it's affordable. Of course, think of Lightbox. They sell blue diamonds, yellow diamonds. Natural blue diamonds are so rare, it's easier to buy a Picasso than to buy a blue diamond. You know, there's much more Picassos on the market than natural blue diamonds. So why not? It's a tempting idea. You know, you can, average people, middle-class people, like most of you and definitely me, we can afford a blue diamond. It's better quality. You know, they have been working on the parameters quite a bit, and now you can get flawless or quasi-flawless with top color that would be unaffordable to buy in a natural version. So that's a smart choice. That's what the lab-grown diamond people said. Then the natural diamond people said, also made claims, you know, and also were kind of emphasizing the advantages that their product is having, and they got a bit out of shape because over the last decades, nobody was challenging them, so they needed a bit of time to react and come up with the good arguments. You know, why is their product so good? Our product is rare. True, it's rare. It's not exactly that rare as people might think it is, the ones that are buying a stone, but it's rare. It's valuable. It holds value. We heard it also today. You know, it has value. It is expensive, and it is claimed to also hold value. And it is also supporting mining communities. You know, these people in all those diamond-producing countries, they might not have as many economic alternatives to have a living as we might have in other places of the world. So that's the real thing. Go for the real diamond. Then there were also accusations. The natural diamond industry said that the lab-grown diamond people, they are really bad. You know, lab-grown diamonds are fake. It's vulgar. It's worthless. It's grown with dirty energy. So their claim of producing it in a sustainable way, in an environmental way, is not true because a lot of those plants are fueled with coal energy, so with dirty energy. True, has a point. And it's misleading the consumers. You guys should be more transparent in how how you label your products, make it clear difference between the natural and the lab-grown products. True. So it's just wrong. Well, so this is kind of almost like trying to stigmatize the product. Then the lab-grown diamond people said, yeah, the natural diamonds people, these are the bad ones, you know. You guys exploit people, you know, since decades. You give so little money to the people there on site, and you reap the big benefits. You destroy nature. It's an extractive industry, and as an extractive industry, you really are moving massive amounts, massive volume of earth and stone you're moving around, and it leaves scars in the nature. You can't deny that. That's a fact. And it's intransparent provenance. Bravo, very true. You know, the natural diamond industry keeps struggling or not being willing or capable to really show the entire value chain from the mine to the cutter, to the whatever other processing steps we have, to the manufacturer, to the retail shop. That's a fact, right? They're very true with that accusation. And it's not sustainable. Of course, it's not sustainable. We talk about the mineral that has grown in the earth. It's not sustainable. You don't get created that every day. You know, it might take another couple of billion years until other number of kimberlites will come up. I hope I won't experience that because it's a pretty catastrophic event. So natural diamonds are just wrong. So the stigmatization was also done, or was trying to be done, by the lab-grown people. So both are angry at each other. You know, we have this fight, or it was more of a silent fight. And that's then when SIPSHO came in, and that's also where SIPSHO has its very purpose, because SIPSHO wants to protect consumer confidence. And it was confusing, of course, for the consumers. What is it now? You know, we have all those claims, all those accusations. And SIPSHO is about regulating, about defining things, about not only the product as such, but also what do we mean when we say, or what do you guys in the industry mean when you say something is sustainable or not sustainable, and also the transparency of supply chains. And that's when in 2018 in Bogota, it was decided that SIPSHO wants to build this lab-grown diamond working group. And they wanted to, they want to kind of acknowledge the existence of lab-grown diamond. And where is it stated here? Oh, yeah, genau. They want to recognize the lab-grown diamond as a fact of the world. They are here and they are here to stay, as Thierry said, and at the same time protecting the interests of the other sectors of the industry. That's a difficult thing, you know. You want to give credibility to one side, but the other ones, they want to protect their share, and they do not want to give a share of the cake to the newcomer. But the lovely thing that SIPSHO did was they established a table. And they said, okay, now we want to have the people at the table. You know, both sitting on the same level. And we want to work on certain practical things. We want to work together on definitions, on certain standards and principles. Let's try to do that. These were the people that were sitting together a couple of years ago here in Milano, so nearby. 2 people from the natural diamond world, Wesley Hunt and Raluca Angel, and then 2 people from the lab-grown diamond industry, Thierry, who we have with us here, and Andy Tsarkov from the company Ultrasea, and then it was myself and Stephen Benson from SIPSHO, Stephen actually doing all the work. We did the talking. And this gentleman, Gaetano, making sure that we are properly behaving and that we are working towards a common goal. The scope that we had before we were starting that thing was, again, protect consumer confidence, and the work group, we had the task of make sure that the consumer receives complete and unambiguous information, which was a big part of the debate. You know, one side accusing the other one of not being clear what they say and what they claim. And again, not to seek to disparage or harm either the natural or the lab-grown diamond sector. So both industry, both parts should have their legitimacy and should exist. Then a couple of meetings, and a couple of years later, that was the outcome. Besides natural diamonds and also the lab-grown diamonds. So that is publicly available, this document. Hello. Try to go to the next slide. I cannot. Ah, yeah, genau. So there's a bunch of learnings that I have, and I think this is something where Sipsho was doing a very good job. Early on, Sipsho was understanding that lab-growns will be here. They are a reality where we have to deal with it. So he was also, Gaetano was very right to bringing those parties to a table, because it's much harder to just yell at each other if you are in one room, you sit together, and then you have to know your purpose is to find some kind of an agreement. Define a common goal. The common goal was to come up with certain definitions and standards, and then make sure that you work on small steps, not on the big topics. You know, we would have probably failed to define what is sustainable, or what is ethical, or what does the consumer want. But the small things, you know, let's define with what language do we want to talk about those. You know, do we want to use the 4Cs language to structure the quality? All those of tiny little steps, which I think helped us then in working towards that goal. There is a bit of open business now. I mean, we have this document out, which I believe helps, can be used to deal with the situation of this new reality. And I honestly believe that the natural diamond business is ultimately benefiting from the lab-grown diamonds, because it helps them, like with every competition, it helps them doing some of the homework which they didn't do so far. I'm referring to this part here, responsible sourcing and transparent supply chains. I mean, today there are technologies around. We see it. I'm coming from the colored gemstone business. In colored gemstones, we have meanwhile established ecosystem with more than 500 companies that are entering all their stones on the blockchain. We have, what did I say, more than 500 companies, and some 8 million gemstones, colored gemstones, are now on a blockchain. From big mining companies, small mining companies, cutters, treater, wholesaler, retailer, jewelry brands. And when you buy such a stone, you get the hash with the digital twin, and as a retailer, you can then tell the full story. I'm asking myself, why is the diamond industry not having that? It's such a simpler environment, because there are only, I mean, a big share of the diamonds are produced by the big companies. We even have a technology in the colored gemstone area where we're using nanoparticles that we are putting in the rough stone at the mine, which are then, they survive the cutting, and then at any stage they can be retrieved, and it's like a birth certificate, we call it a paternity test, that can be read out and then says it's this company that was taking out that stone from the ground in this place, in this year. And this could equally well be done with diamonds. So I believe the pressure that lab-grown diamonds are putting on the natural diamond industry will help them doing the homework, particularly in this part. On the other hand, sustainability claims now need to be materialized. You have to bring evidence. You cannot just say, and that applies to both industries, you cannot say as a lab-grown diamond producer, my stones are ethical, if the electricity that is producing the diamonds has been, is coming from a coal power plant. That's not correct. And the other way around as well. So I think competition is healthy, competition is good. It makes both sides doing their job in a better way. I think I'm at the end of my presentation. Yeah, a bit of... Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. And conclusion, we have this gemstone, diamond, is, in my opinion, the most loved, the most desirable gemstone, and we have natural diamond, synthetic diamond, natural from earth and synthetic from laboratory. Who has the power? The final consumer, because he is the person that will make the choice from a natural diamond or synthetic diamond. As we talk now, it's important to communicate correctly everything, to use the correct nomenclature. For example, in Italy we call synthetic not for our rules want this, but we have to say the truth from sustainability, from ethically, but for both the products. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you have some questions to the speakers, we are here. Se non avete domande, ci aspetta l'aperitivo.
If you have no questions, we can all enjoy an aperitif outside the fair. Thank you very much to all of you, and see you at the next edition for the next Gem Talks.